Hey, what's up, everybody? Once again, my name is DJ. Sitting here back doing what I do on a Monday. Reading the internet, reading books, and chilling. And today, I'm gonna go ahead and touch on a subject that one of my instructors asked me to touch on, and I'm gonna kind of probably go a little more in depth into what he asked me to go on. He had a debate at or discussion, if or what have you, about something at his boxing gym, and they was talking about is jumping rope just as efficient or actually more efficient than running. Okay, is jumping rope more efficient than running? Somebody at the gym said that to the jumping rope for 10 minutes is the equivalent of a 2 mile run. And so somebody else said, man, it's nothing that's going to replace road work, in the boxing gym. It's something we've been doing for years. So, all right. So I'm going to touch on that real quick, and then I'm going to get into go off on another tangent here. So this is a book here. I refer to this book a lot. This is the Boxer's Book of Conditioning and Drilling by Mark Hatmaker. He authors No Holds Barred Fighting Series, Boxing Mastery, No Second Chance MMA Mastery Series. Very good book. He is a really good book to read. I suggest a lot of trainers pick it up. Really good training drills in here. But and one of his chapters called Tradition versus Innovative, and I just skip right to it. It says skipping rope is often used to build win, i.e. endurance. The rope can be used for this goal, but it can take you only so far. Again, there are faster and more effective methods to accomplish this goal. We must be honest with ourselves. If we choose a less effective, less efficient method over a superior method, which is usually harder, we are either succumbing to the traditional bias or shrinking the harder work. Some rope work is fine. Skipping rope should be regulated to adding the occasional spice to a win building routine to keep some bounce in the legs. And so basically, here's what's up. Just to answer my man's question, the science is in on this, man. Skipping rope is not it does help, yes it does, but it's not as effective as some good hardcore road work. Hardcore road work. Now, hardcore road work, as far as a boxer goes or a MMA fighter, is not a marathon run. Is not a long, and we call it LSD, a long steady distance. You're not just running, and chilling. Nah, you getting in. You run in. Sometimes you break out in a sprint. Sometimes you drop down, do some push-ups. You shadow box. I could do a 2 mile run, and it may take me 20 minutes. Where if I just ran a steady distance, I could probably do it in 8 to 10. But I'm running fast. I'm slowing up. Sure, if I might stop in the field, hit some sit-ups. Do some squats. I mean, some good road work. Okay, is much more efficient than just getting the rope and just skipping rope, or burning and skipping rope for 10 minutes. That's a science. That's a science on it. But that's not the deep part of the situation. The deep part of the situation is you got old school versus new school science. See, old school didn't have no science. They didn't do any tests. If you did what your trainer told you to do, and he did what his trainer told him to do, and his trainer did what he told, and these are things that have been passed down through time, right? Now, it may or may not be effective. Well, now they have done, science, and they're, trying to find out what actually works and what actually doesn't work. And there's some things that old school boxers or trainers have been doing for years that technically isn't as effective as other things. I'm gonna give you a couple of examples, and this should get me some real feedback. I know a lot of y'all are not gonna like this. I'm gonna give you a couple examples. One example, the speed bag. Uh-oh. Now, the speed bag is made for endurance and shoulder endurance and well, really, it's just hand and shoulder endurance. It doesn't really help your timing so much, but they say shoulder endurance and timing. Now, here's the thing: is it really effective? Well, the truth is, yes, it's effective, but it's not as effective as just shadow boxing continuously for the whole time. The reason why is because never in a fight, never in at least a boxing match, do you do this. Never. You never do that. So you can get the same work out of shadow boxing or hitting the bag for the same amount of time, same shoulder work, only you're actually doing it in a form in which you would actually use. Because never do you do this in a fight. Well, I didn't see the fight, but I heard Conor McGregor does that, but it's not really supposed to be done. Now, maybe like a Krav Maga martial artist, we do this all the time. Well, for a hammer fist, but for a boxer, this is not really something that you do in a fight. So why spend a whole lot of time doing this when you can actually just hit the bag? It's not effective training. I know a lot of you heard it's effective training, but it's not effective training, at least not as effective as something else would be. Okay, I can skipping rope is not effective as something else would be. Guess what else? Taking the heavy bag or the medicine ball and throwing it down on your abs. That's something that's been passed down for years. Does that make your abs tighter? There's nothing science has that says that taking a medicine ball and popping it down your abs is going to make you be able to take punches better. However, the champion Muhammad Ali used to do that all the time. It's in all the Rocky movies. He does it all the time. Does that mean it's right, or does that mean it's traditional? Okay. Here's the thing about an old school trainer, and then ain't talking about just boxing and MMA, and I'm talking about across the board. Okay. And I told one of my instructors this: if I'm having a discussion with somebody about training or anything, and he starts the sentence off by, "Man, I've been doing this for years," or anything equivalent to that, I no longer want to have a discussion with that person. Because at that point, as soon as he says, "Man, I've been doing this for years," you ain't going to tell me, or "I know how to do this, I've been doing this for years." The minute they say, "I've been doing this for years," they're not open to new ideas. They're not going to listen to you. So as soon as somebody says, I've been doing this for years, I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's fighting. I don't care if it's basketball. I don't care if it's electricianal work, construction. If they say, "Man, I've been doing this for years," at the start of their conversation, in other words, they don't want to hear nothing you got to say, and they're not open to new ideas. But just imagine where the world would be if everybody was like that. Imagine what would happen if Thomas Edison came out and said, "Hey, I have a new thing called electricity, and we can we can use it for light bulbs." And the candle maker said, "Man, I've been doing this for years," and we disregarded anything Thomas Edison had to say. Then we still be walking around with candles. What if the person who typed on the typewriter for a long time, and the person say, "Man, I got something called computers. We can use a computer." He said, "Man, I've been doing this for years." Then we wouldn't have computers. We would just have typewriters. What if the person that had the horse and buggy, he told the person who came up with the automobile idea, say, "Hey, man, I got the guy, we can do automobile." He said, "Man, I've been riding these horses for years. Yeah, man, I've been doing this for years." We would not be, growing as a society if we listen to people that said, "Man, I've been doing this for years." So why is it not true in the fight game? Things have to evolve. Things have to change. Things have to get better and better in time. Okay? The minute you have that mindset of "I've been doing this for years," and you stop listening to new ideas and new innovations, that's when you start to decline. And then somebody else starts to incline, and and their technique becomes better than yours or the people that you're teaching. And that's why you got people out here doing the new stuff, whatever. That stuff is good. It's good. Don't disregard it. Learn from it. Learn from it. So it shouldn't be new school versus old school. It should be new school and old school working together for the greater good. But, which brings me to what I always say. Whatever you're going to do, go ahead and do it to the best of your ability. All right? So, that's all I'm saying. And peace. I'm out. Oh! Don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I got more.